Bill Barr, maybe. Oh,
Dionne Warwick.
Go Dionne Warwick.
Sorry, I was naming everybody who was singing. Yeah.
Sorry. Haven't heard that one in a while. Yes,
Right.
Carlos brought this up yesterday, and I was like, okay, the patent thing's way above my pay grade. It's too complicated an issue. But here's the thing: I know if it's Jan Schakowsky's idea, it's a good idea, and she's the one that spearheaded the letter to Biden. And God bless him. I swear, this is talk about like reclaiming America's image in the world, right? And realizing that again. And if you have to be talked into, well, how is it? It's good for you because variants are circulating all over the world, and this is never going to end unless we help everybody. But it kills me that we have not half, but whatever, however many percentage of Republicans that won't take the vaccine. I mean, that might be a way to notify or motivate them to say, okay, we're sending it to other people to help other people in other countries. And then they'll be like, no, it's ours. It's our vaccine. We're not actually sending our vaccine. We have plenty to vaccinate every American. Yeah. It is, sharing the technology so that, and I don't, again, kind of above my pay grade, the legal stuff in terms of, right, that it's like a one time, it's because we're in an emergency. We're in a global pandemic. It's an intellectual property thing that's, right. A
patent attorney would be able to tell us the ins and outs of this.
Well, we did not book one of those. We booked Matt Miller to talk about Rudy Giuliani and Bill Barr going to jail because that's more fun. But we'll ask him anyway.
Okay.
He might know.
Can you ask him if he can also get a patent attorney on the phone?
Sure. One of my best friends is a patent attorney, so
Oh, get him on the phone. That'll be boring as all get out. I'll doze off after the first question. I'll just be like,
Let's talk patent law, Stephanie. It's very exciting and very entertaining.
Does it cover?
He's not like that. He's my libertarian former roommate. So
I'll just ask dumb questions like, does it only cover patent leather? Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Okay. Yes, the Biden administration said the administration believes strongly in intellectual property protections because that's what everyone's going to scream about, I'm sure. But in the service of ending this pandemic, this supports the waiver of these protections for COVID vaccines. So it's a temporary waiver on patents and other intellectual property rules preventing developing countries from mass producing COVID vaccine. So, yay America.
I did hear a doctor talk about this morning, and he said that it might not allow us to manufacture the vaccines faster because we still need the raw materials, and we can only get the raw materials as fast as a certain amount of time.
But like Carlos said yesterday, why not? And I'm just, in my experience of Jan Schakowsky tells you to do it, just do it. Oh, when has she been wrong?
Okay. She's rocking.
Okay, exactly. Thank you. And I'm sorry I was a little late to the show. I was at my private airplane hangar, stepping over homeless people. Strewn with homeless, and I've just had it.
How did they get on this runway?
Okay, because you may not know what we're joking about yet, but can I just say I love California so much, but we are a ridiculous state. We're ridiculous. We have the lowest infection rate in the country. Gavin Newsom has a 60% approval rating, and friggin' Caitlyn Jenner and Randy Quaid are running for.
And the guy with the bear.
The guy that brought the bear, and now a story about a bear who's whining that he got bad coverage because he brought a bear which was not safe, and it was animal endangerment. Okay, let's not even. All right, let's just focus on.
Can I just say, I won't be sad if the bear mauls him.
Bear, no! Bear!
No, bear!
Stop that, bear! Bear, stop!
Let me skip ahead and get that story ready, too. Okay. These are our dumbass California stories. Caitlyn Jenner drew widespread mockery when she told could I have the tiniest of violins, please? She told the tale of her private plane hangar neighbor's decision to leave California to avoid having to see homeless people. She said on Hannity, "My friends are leaving California. My hangar."
Oh my God.
Really? People they don't, the white privilege just doesn't not even aware that it's coming out of her mouth at the time. It's. Oh, by the way, Sean Hannity's okay with pronouns now for Caitlin. He called her she, so I guess, yeah, it's officially okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Sean, I'm not done. My hanger, the guy right across. Oh, no. Don't you hate that, Chris, when it's the private hanger right next to your private plane hanger? I mean, if it was two or three down. If it were two or three down.
Oh. The worst.
He was packing up his hanger. Oh, my God. So sad. So sad.
Didn't he have people he could pay to do that for him?
That's the sad part of this story, Travis. Thank you for putting your finger on it. A guy having to pack up his private plane hanger by himself.
Wait a minute. Wasn't there a homeless person that he could have like given a few bucks to do that?
Stop. Two birds, one stone.
Good morning. That's what my mother tells people. She's got a voice for radio and a face for Zoom.
You are just a thing of wonder and beauty.
Good morning, everyone.
Oh, good morning. I have to say, we had Dr. Doom on today, and, Dana, we're all talking about this. How do we get our hesitant, whatever it is, whether they're anti-vaxxers or just hesitant or whatever, how do we
Bribery. The answer is bribery.
Yes, I'm for everything. It kills me that we should have to beg people to take advantage of a medical miracle in the middle of a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic. But yes, beer, pay them, I don't care, right?
You know what? I would even, and people are going to be mad at this, but if this is what they need to hear, give the Republicans a very small tax credit. You know what? Fine.
Yes, fine.
I will actually pay toward that as a Democrat and a progressive to be able to get herd immunity if you will give them a tax credit.
I will go further than that, Dana. I will allot you more than your one hamburger a month if you get vaccinated.
Now you're getting crazy. Listen, they're going to believe the tax credit. That whole beef thing, they're not going to buy it.
Okay. Can I just say we have a nation, as you know, of sexy liberal helpers. You know the Steph heads, the sexy liberal army. Always has your back.
Alive.
Dana, who is Dr. Dana, the official clinical psychologist of the Stephanie Miller Show. Unofficial, official, whatever. You know what's helping? Look at her with her I Got the Pfizer mug. Look how beautiful Dr. Dana is with her I Got the Pfizer. I'll post that later. She said, here I am in my new normal telehealth setting, drinking coffee and promoting the importance of vaccination so they can get some semblance of back to normal. She's using she said this mug has already inspired discussions and successful persuasion to vaccinate, which was done with a smile and a song along the way. Thank you as always for helping me stay sane and safe. You literally may be helping save lives. Oh, she's got the Pfizer and the mug. She's got the, yeah. Look how beautiful.
Pfizer.
Yeah. Oh my God. She's got the mug. We've got masks. We've got the t-shirt. Dr. Doom. I think our
people like swag.
Funky Cold Moderna went through the roof when Dr. Doom modeled his. Dana, I forget.
People like
team?
swag.
Which team are you? I forget.
I am Pfizer.
You are Team Pfizer.
Yep.
All right.
I am not snobby about it, but I am Pfizer.
This girl is.
Pfizer.
Okay. As a liberal union fan, I love this one. Dana, tell me what you think of this. Kathy in Darwin, California, the labor union approach to encouraging vaccination. I love our liberal helpers, thinkers, idea people.
Well, if you live in a place named Darwin, California, you better be advancing humanity.
You better be evolving.
That's what I'm saying. You better be evolving.
Yeah, see what I did there. Okay. Dear Steph, in my tiny desert town, we had our first social gathering in more than a year, which everyone was able to mingle unmasked without fear. We're all Team Moderna. That's what we have here. I thought about a holdout friend who might have felt he could huddle among us at this gathering, being protected by the fact that we're all fully vaccinated, while he refers to vaccinated people as sheeple. Union members take a very dim view of free riders who share the benefits for which unions negotiate but who don't pay union dues. Let's introduce the concept of free riding into our discussion of vaccine hesitancy. Hey guys, we're perfectly happy to protect you, but we expect you to protect us also. Don't be a free rider. I love that because I was thinking that my anti-vaxxer friend, Dana, this is what's going to happen. We all do the right, because we've all been doing the right thing mostly for the last year and a half, making the sacrifices, staying home, distancing. masking, now getting vaccinated. They didn't do any of that. And now they're going to be like, oh, see, we told you it's nothing. Look, the rates are down now. We can all go back to normal. It's like, what do you mean we, Kimosabe? You get to do that because we did all the hard work and took the risk.
Good morning, Steph.
I heard you tweeted that you're done teaching virtually. You can't wait till you get back. I know all of us are. You can't wait till you get back to class, right? And you told your students to tap you on the shoulder and say hello because you haven't even met some of them in person, right?
I did. I might have even told them I'll give them 2 points extra credit on the exam if they do it. No, I hate all things electronic. I am incompetent. I hate computers. So when George Washington University converted to online learning, it drove me nuts to have to, teach via a computer. So I can't wait to get back into the classroom in September.
Well, and it gives the lady folk time to prepare themselves.
Oh, stop.
Now, trust me on this. Okay. Yes, I know. We're back in the studio May 24th. I can't wait. All right. And someday I'm going to give you a hug, sir. I've prepared myself for it. We're ready to go.
Can't wait, Steph.
You were all set to do DC Sexy Liberal. Oh, all right. Mm-hmm. So, let's get into this because of course I read your tweets when you're not here and then I twirl my hair. But you said each day that passes with Donald Trump not being criminally charged for the many crimes he inarguably committed is another day the big lie is allowed to deconstruct our democracy and become more firmly entrenched in the minds of Americans who are unwilling or unable to abide the truth. I could not agree with you more. Patience not my strong suit, Glenn, but it's all connected. This thing in Arizona is an ongoing coup from, January 6th. It just, I feel like if this is just allowed to just, there's no consequences, where are we with the rule of law, right?
Yeah, and I happen to think the Republicans are overplaying their hand everywhere, in Arizona, in Florida, in Georgia. So I do think it's all going to come home to roost, but we are growing so impatient. We're so frustrated because we see, these free range criminals. They're just roaming free in Florida and elsewhere. And all the while, the big lie continues to entrench itself in the American psyche. At least, as I say, those people who are either unable to discern the truth or unwilling to discern the truth. And now we've got more federal judges weighing in saying Bill Barr lied to protect a criminal president. So, and, I assume we're going to touch on that, Amy Berman Jackson's ruling in a few minutes. But, something has to be done. And I know the justice is coming. Battle cry begins to ring hollow because we're waiting and waiting and waiting. Yeah. But just think about this. Here's what I want to use as our frame of reference for why justice is coming. Just 1 week after the Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco got confirmed. She is the approval authority on search warrants for lawyers. 1 week after she took office, the feds were raiding Rudy Giuliani's house and office pursuant to a federal search warrant. That was her doing and Merrick Garland's doing. So they are moving out. They are moving out.
Yeah. You, right. You, hang on. I don't know which one I liked better. But you said Rudy Giuliani or Matt Gaetz, who might get indicted first. Let's discuss. Let's discuss. So they both won't shut up. We have sound bites from both of them today from being on different shows, right? I mean, which is rule number one, right? If you have an attorney, shut up. But I mean, they just won't shut up. Is that their level of hubris, or they have bad lawyers, or what is it?
Well, look, Donald Trump and Bill Barr protected all criminals in his orbit for 4 years. So, they're feeling pretty good about their track record. And they're not really, wising up to the fact that it's a new day under President Biden and under Attorney General Merrick Garland. So, and what we need to remember is both of these criminal investigations into Matt Gaetz and into Rudy Giuliani were started by Attorney General Bill Barr's Department of Justice. So if you have gone a bridge too far committing crimes for Bill Barr, charges are imminent. I would bet a buck, that's my betting limit, that Gaetz will see the first indictment and then Rudy will follow not too long afterwards.
Oh. Sorry, just a little thrill up my leg. Okay, Well, yeah, because you made the point before that you said Trump's lawlessness, enabled and protected by Barr, inspired a criminal recklessness in those orbiting around Trump. The good news is criminal recklessness always produces lots of valuable evidence. Justice is coming for the Trump criminal cabal. So but here's my question. What about Bill Barr? I'm admitting I cheated on you with Matt Miller yesterday, but I did not get the answers I wanted. And so, but I mean, is Bill Barr really going to get away with this? I mean,
tell Matt he better be careful not to muscle in on my territory. But here's why I think Bill Barr is also going to get got, right? Because now we have multiple federal judges calling him out in their written orders, in their findings and conclusions. We know Bill Barr lied to the American people about the Mueller report, right? Trying to bury 10 obstruction of justice crimes by Donald Trump, trying to keep Donald Trump from being indicted, from being prosecuted for the crimes he inarguably committed. So he lied to the American people. We know he lied to the courts because Amy Berman Jackson said so in her order this week. And he lied to Congress. She put it a little bit more politely when she said, given the evidence that I've seen in this litigation, it seems like Bill Barr may have made some misrepresentations to Congress on March 24th. So we have federal judges. This is not speculation. This is not the chattering class. These are serious federal judges like Judge Walton and Judge Jackson who have said Bill Barr lied to the American people to corruptly protect Donald Trump from being held accountable for his crimes. How can today's law-abiding attorney general ignore that? Just sweep it under the rug. That can't be swept under the rug. That has to be addressed.
Yeah. Well, right. That's what I mean, again, just a layperson, but I'm like, is that not obstruction in itself that he, tried to say there's no obstruction when there are 10 clear cases of obstruction? And how do we as a nation just let all that go? I mean, I just don't.
Yeah, it's at a minimum, it's accessory after the fact, which is a federal crime that simply says, if you know someone has committed an offense against the United States, a la Donald Trump 10 times, as documented in Volume 2 of the Mueller report, if you know someone has committed an offense against the United States and you do something to help that person avoid apprehension and accountability for his crimes, you've committed the federal felony of accessory after the fact. I've said before, this is not rough and tumble politics. This is criminal. What Bill Barr did was criminal, and I believe the Department of Justice knows that and will address it.
So, okay. Because I always say this, Glenn, that it feels like one story to me. I mean, this is just today. New facts are still coming out about Trump's use of Russian misinformation to get elected president and to nearly overturn his election loss. It's a through line, isn't it? From Mueller report through Ukraine, through, overturning the election to what's going on right now. That feels like that's why all this has to be prosecuted, right?
Well, it has to be prosecuted if we want to avoid a recurrence of what we just suffered through for 4 years. When you decline to hold criminals accountable, you don't just fail to deter future crime, you encourage future crime. You endorse it, you embrace it, you validate it. So think about it. If we don't hold Trump, Bill Barr, and others accountable for their crimes against the United States and her people, we're going to get something that's actually worse than Donald Trump and Bill Barr next time around. Now, I don't know who could step in and fill Donald Trump's criminal shoes. I mean, I don't know that Matt Gaetz is up to that task, or Ron Johnson or Jim Jordan or any of these other knuckleheads who spout off, Russian propaganda. But if we don't address it now, I promise you, we will get more corrupt criminal politicians in the future.
Yeah. You tweeted about debunking Rudy's claim the FBI should have seized Hunter Biden's hard drives while they were executing a search warrant at. First of all, doesn't the FBI already have that? Didn't he already try that, give that to them? And first of all, the search warrant it covers his stuff, right? Okay.
Yeah. So the federal judge in the search warrant, I'm quite sure, we haven't seen it, but we have a pretty good sense of it, authorized the FBI to seize Rudy Giuliani's electronic devices, right? Computers, iPads, and cell phones. And that's what they did. When they arrived at Rudy's office and Rudy's home to execute those search warrants. Just because Rudy Giuliani said, hey, you see that big pile of hard drives over there it piled up in the corner of my apartment? Those are Hunter Biden's. Why don't you take that? Well, guess what? I'm quite sure the judge didn't say, you know what, FBI agents, while you're in there seizing the things I've authorized you to seize. If Rudy tells you he's got a bunch of, Hunter Biden's old sweat socks and T-shirts, why don't you just take those too? I mean, it's absurd that Rudy would say the FBI failed. And let's take a step back. If he's got a pile of Hunter Biden hard drives, how did he get them? Right. Did Hunter Biden give him permission? What's the far more likely scenario, Steph? He's over in Ukraine meeting with Ukrainian oligarchs and Russian intelligence assets and sources and officers, and they give him a bunch of stuff, and they're like, here you go, comrade Giuliani. This is Hunter Biden stuff. Why don't you take it and use it to try to help Trump win the 2020 election? It's pure propaganda, and it's pure nonsense. Rudy's got nothing but, the ability to run his mouth on the Fox Entertainment Network. That's all he's got left.
Oh, hi, Carl Frisch. How are you?
Good morning. I do have some good news for Rudy Giuliani. It's not entirely impossible to get shoe polish to color his hair in prison.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Not entirely impossible.
Right.
You got to trade a few cigarettes, but it's not impossible. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In your role as fancy school board member there in Virginia, you might remind us it's Teacher Appreciation Week.
That's right.
You said, tell me about a teacher who changed your life. I'll go first. Ms. Thornton, because taught me not to cross my eyes because they would stick that way. Because she had one eye that... remember, your mom
Learning
would say...
by example.
Yes, because class clowns like me would frequently cross my eyes, right? And then she'd go, your eyes are going to stick like that. Okay, Chris, you go now.
Mrs. Furno, my first grade teacher. She taught me an appreciation for creativity.
Oh, sweet. Travis, who when you were being roped as a child by your father and from your pony.
Mrs. Ratliff, who was my 8th grade science teacher, who doesn't look anything like a rat. You would actually be into her, Stephanie.
Oh, nice. Oh. Okay. I thought it was going to be your...
She was very pretty.
thought it was going to be your track coach that taught you to run from your father and trying to rope you. Okay.
Nope.
No, Carl.
It wasn't the metal shop teacher that let me put a drill in my hand.
I appreciated all my teachers. You know why, Carl? I was voted biggest brown nose because I was the biggest brown nose. I loved all my teachers. I really was. I was like...
Well, I mean, it was good preparation, right? For me, it was Mr. Baird, who was my high school journalism teacher, that got me interested in public policy and writing. So I think everybody has one. And after the year we've had, it's good to see the Biden administration committing to getting resources to school divisions so that we can treat teachers like they deserve to be treated.
Yeah, absolutely. I like teachers so much to the extent that I made all the other kids hate me. I was that kid that would be like, have you graded our tests yet? Because I always did really well.
Can we have another?
Everyone would be like, shut up. We were in the gym once. We were in the gym one time, and Mrs. Gazzo, who was also one of my favorites, and I'm like, "Hi, Mrs. Gazzo, did you do her test yet?" She's like, "You got an A." I'm like, "Of course I did." And then all my friends beat me up and threw me under the bleachers. Anyway, Carl, it's brought up a lot of stuff for me. Like the time
we'll work it out.
Yeah. Like the time I turned around and made Barb Murphy laugh in Spanish class, and Mr. Dillon. And she said, "Mr. Dillon, it's Stephanie. She's making me laugh. It's not." And he said, "Well, if you had Stephanie's grades, you'd have something to laugh about."
All of this is to say, I love hearing people's stories about their favorite teachers. So tweet them at me.
Yes, and Stephanie. No wonder that
everyone
girl
hates
pushed
me.
You into the bushes. Yes, no wonder that girl pushed you into the bushes.
That's Carol Fisher. Yes.
Yeah.
She beat me up. And
these stories are really going to endear you with Travis's science teacher. So.
Yeah. Well, I was enjoying science until Mary Murphy put a cat kidney in my hairbrush so that she knew I brushed my hair at the end of every class. Okay. You know what, Carl? We've started a whole thing for me.
They're all going to laugh at you, Steffi.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't turn out like Carrie, Stephanie.
Plug it up, plug it up. Okay. I'm fine.
Oh.
I know I just ended up in radio. Same thing.
Yeah.
Crazy people go. Okay, Carl, let's, a lot going on. First of all, take off your school hat and your campaign strategist hat. So when Mitch McConnell, once again, on tape admits, I am 100, what did he, here it is. Give me cut, is it cut 6? When he says this out loud, like he said, my number one priority is to make Barack Obama a one-term president. That is my number one priority. My proudest moment in my political life is when I looked at Barack Obama and said, you will not fill that Supreme Court seat. When he says this yesterday.
Yeah, 100% of my focus is on stopping this new administration. I think the best way to look at what this new administration is, the president may have won the nomination, but Bernie Sanders won the argument
for God's
about
sakes.
what the new administration should be like. We're confronted with severe challenges from a new administration and a narrow majority of Democrats in the House and a 50-50 Senate to turn America into a socialist country. And that's 100% of my focus.
Right. Okay. So can we just, to compare and contrast, give me a Psaki bomb, give me cut 8. Here is Jen Psaki being asked about that.
I guess the contrast for people to consider is 100% of our focus is on delivering relief to the American people, on getting the pandemic under control and putting people back to work. And we welcome support, engagement, and work with the Republicans on that.
Oh, boom.
Psaki.
Yeah, another Psaki bomb.
But I think everybody knows.
Are we going to stop with this stupid mainstream media? How come Joe Biden ran on bipartisanship and how come they're not? It's like Mitch McConnell's telling you in advance, right?
That will not stop, regardless of what Mitch McConnell's doing. Look, we all know that Mitch McConnell's proudest accomplishment was when his fins turned into feet and he slowly crept onto land. But the reality is all of those comments that he makes about, when he looked across the table at Barack Obama and how his number one priority is this or that, his number one priority is to keep the Republican base engaged after defeat, after defeat, after defeat, and to raise money. And that's what all of this is designed to do. Tell corporations that I'm going to fight for you and not for the American people, so give us your money. And tell the Republican base that there's a reason that they need to stay engaged, despite the fact that they have no plan for delivering for them anything that matters. And more the polling shows that even Republicans see the merits in what the Biden-Harris administration are offering, staying focused on getting us out of the pandemic, staying focused on getting us jobs, staying focused on getting the economy moving again. Yeah. So he's in a tough position, Mitch McConnell, and I enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, it doesn't give Joe Manchin a leg to stand on. We have that audio later, but it's just he's even said, what was it? I can't remember now. Was it infrastructure? Mitch McConnell already said not one vote. He said it on every bill already. Yeah. Not one vote. Like, what are you talking about? You're going to work with the Republicans. So, and Joe Biden was, and obviously they're tossing Liz Cheney this week or next week, I guess. Joe Biden was asked about this.
It seems as though the Republican Party is trying to identify what it stands for. And they're in the midst of a significant sort of mini revolution going on in the Republican Party.
He's just so much nicer than I am. Anyway, one more real quick and get your take on the other side.
I've been a Democrat for a long time. We've gone through periods where we've had internal fights and disagreements. I don't ever remember any like this. And so, as one of you said, and I'm not embarrassed by identifying them, as one of you said on national television last night, we badly need a Republican Party. We need a two-party system. It's not healthy to have a one-party system. And I think the Republicans are further away from trying to figure out who they are and what they stand for than I thought they would be at this point.
Did you read Liz Cheney's op-ed? The worst thing of this whole thing is making me say good things about Dick Cheney's demon seed. But it was a really good op-ed, and she really is trying to save them from themselves. And I think with everything we see going on, Carl, she's seeing where this is going. A lot of Trump barred Giuliani probably going to end up in prison, and it's like she's trying to save them from this cult, and they don't appear to be ready to be saved, right?